Good evening, good evening, good evening. Right, as promised, I said that I would come back and do another stream today. I'm kind of getting into these streaming. Um, yeah, I thought I might just show this. This is a. I just follow random tutorials on um, YouTube. I mean, I've like a lot of people that do Blender, you follow tutorials on YouTube. You can do some pretty neat stuff, and this is something that I have in mind for a project anyway. Um, to add rocks. And you can spend a lot of time, yeah, modeling rocks and whatever. But this is procedural rocks with random procedural texturing, which is pretty neat. Pretty neat indeed. And I just thought I'd share that. And of course, it's procedural. It's all completely adjustable and everything. And it's pretty neat. Every time you copy um, a rock, because that's what these basically are, it puts a random texture on there within parameters that you've actually set. And you can I mean I just was playing around with this and set up some probably pretty odd colors, but they're all right. I have actually seen these colors of rocks. And then of course, because this has got a couple of modifiers attached to it, you can basically select anything and alter the shape of the rock very, very easily. I don't know whether anyone would find that interesting or useful. You just grab something around and it deforms the rock, gives it a random texture. There you go. I've got another random rock, which is pretty good. Interesting, very interesting. So anyway, I'm going to save this. Tonight I'm going to be working on the Victorian house. I'm not going to get it finished, but I just want to work on it. And I've got some excellent textures to apply to it. Whether we'll get that far, I don't really know. I've been working all day on client stuff. I streamed earlier on for a couple of hours, and I don't know quite how long I can go. Um, yeah, I quite like these rocks. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I mean, yeah, you can go around and make your own rocks and change it and deform it and do all the rest of it. But I mean, you know, this took me less than 15 minutes to produce all these rocks, and I can just keep going. I can highlight all of them, copy them, move them somewhere else, and I will get 20 more different textured rocks, which I can then manipulate around and change and alter in edit mode and deform them randomly. It's pretty good. I'm using the two modifiers: subdivision, surface, and displacement, and a whole load of procedural. If you want to see the procedural stuff, the nodes, there you go. Kind of complicated, but not really complicated. That's it. Anyway, enough of going around enjoying ourselves. Of course, if you want to make these low poly, you're going to need to decimate them. I mean, I would highlight the whole lot. Go through the whole procedure of baking high res onto a low res mesh. Duplicate them, decimate them, and bring the poly count really down low, and then bake a high poly mesh texture onto a low poly mesh. And hey presto, you've got low poly, really high, quite nice detailed rocks. Nothing wrong with them. Anyway. We're on revision F. Okay, so this is where we left off the other day with the Victorian house. Yeah, windows. Yeah, okay. I might actually join the wooden frame to the main window frame, and potentially the glass. Well, the glass is actually part of the main window frame, but this window frame I might join to that. There's going to be the windowsill. We got wood frame, window pane, and windowsill, and then that's got wood frame, so that would actually fit quite nicely. But anyway, we'll see as we go along. Before I do anything, I want to save as G. Okay, unless anyone's going to ask questions in chat, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to work away because, I'll probably talk as I go along, but I'm not going to keep checking chat all the time because no one says anything. Yeah, I need to make sure when I bake the textures that I don't leave this chap there. Like I did with the lighthouse the other night. That was quite funny. Okay. So because I've got all these windows lined up, I'm thinking that the I think cutting the using a boolean through the wall doesn't necessarily have to be, to the millimeter accurate. So I think what I'm going to do is grab okay. So it might be better for me to just duplicate that, really. Let's just separate that. That seems to be fine. I think what I'll do is, okay, so I know that that is that's just the size of the pane. I think the best thing to do would be oh. Okay. I'm just thinking, you know what I could have just done? I could have highlighted all of the panes of glass and then run them through. Sometimes I just think or don't think. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't really matter. It just means I've given myself a bit of extra work. What I should have done was this. What does the W key do? I've pressed that by accident. I've done this a couple of times and I don't know quite what it is I've done. Tweak? No. I don't know what W does. W must do something. Help is not working. I don't know what W does, but it makes stuff disappear. This is obviously too close to the wall. Oh yeah, okay. Ooh. Oh, come on. Really? This is what I should have done in the beginning. Just as easy to do it the way I did it in the beginning. I don't think it makes an awful lot of difference. So I'm going to create, let's just make sure that all of these are, the normals are on the right way. Yeah, I think they are. Pretty sure. Let's just highlight that lot. But it looks to me like the normals are all around the right way. Yeah. There's a little annoying fly that keeps hovering around. It's interesting, why didn't the ones down below do that? How very odd. Did I select them? Yeah, I selected them. Let's do that again. Oh, I know why. Duh. Just make sure the origins and scale was wrong. The mass cutting of holes. I think the best thing to do is just join this lot, make it one mesh. Ooh, no, that's not a good idea, because I need to cut through the holes of 3 different types of walls. Let's just join each floor. Join. 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 Let's cut holes in walls. No. I always do this the wrong way around. I always do this the wrong way around. You select what you want cut first, then you add the modifier. I don't know why. I think it's just bad habit. You kind of start doing something wrong, and then you can't stop doing it. It's like, it really is like a bad habit. Okay. Right, so we add a modifier to that one. We select the object, boom. Select this wall, add a boolean. Boolean, I don't know. Boolean, I've heard it said, pronounced so many different ways. I have no idea what the correct, what the correct pronunciation is. I call it boolean. Other people call it boolean. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Okay, so now we need to see display the modifier in edit mode. Have we actually physically cut a hole through the wall? If we just hide everything. I generally tend to like going into yep, it's gonna do it. We can see that it's I just always like to make sure that it is actually gonna do it properly. Okay, so if we just apply, am I happy with the cut? Yeah, I am happy with the cut. Just got to go for it really. So that fly is really annoying me. I think I might need to do some adjustments on these windows down the back here. That's fine. They're going to be under the ground anyway, or below surface level, let's say. Okay, so let's apply that one, and that one. So that didn't work then, did it? Why didn't that work? Okay. We select the house. There. You select what you want to cut into it, which is correct. Apply the Boolean. Am I getting that the right way around or the wrong way around? Do we have to select that first? Apply. It's not working either way, is it? That's interesting. Why is that not working? It always gets me, actually, this this modifier. I have found that it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. Okay, so let me just cube GY GZ1. Okay, so we've got a cube. Control A. Where we're gonna cut that with okay, it's fine. GY error. Oh. GY cube. Right, so G. I've done so many Boolean cuts before, modifier. I'm pretty sure that you select the mesh you want to cut. You add the modifier. It is now looking for the object that you want to cut it. We want difference. And then going to select that object. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then you apply. So once you apply and you delete, see, it works. So it is the right way around. Oh. How weird. So have I increased the edge count like many times, I wonder, because I've just done it about 3 times thinking that it wasn't doing anything. Let's just hide the windows 1 minute. Oh. What is going on? Something very strange is going on. Right. I'm not going to save that. I am going to recover last session. Let's start from that again. Don't save. Why has that got 2 blends on the end? So anyway, we want that one. I don't really understand what was going on there. I had got it around the right way. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Sometimes it might take longer to do something, but at least you know it's going to work. You know? Just whack it through the house. Why not? Okay. You got more control if you just try not to do, you know, try to be too clever with stuff. This was kind of the way that I was thinking that I was going to do it anyway. I was just trying to be clever and get a better fit around the window, but you know, realistically, once the windows are in place and fixed, then it doesn't really matter. now I need to adjust these frames. I will see the gap anyway, but I must remember to do that once I've applied the boolean. Let's just group these together. Okay, we've got the scale correct. We've got that is all correct. I wonder if those cubes are actually there. So I'm wondering if I could hide all the windows. Yes, I can. Okay, then I can actually see what's actually going on. Right, so we add the modifier to the wall. We select the cutter, which is that. No, it isn't. There we go. Isn't that interesting? That's very interesting how that didn't seem to come up like that before. Okay. It's not rocket science. We delete them. We got holes in the wall. I don't know. Something... Am I using 292? Ah, okay, I'm using 292. Let's put it down to 292 bug or something. I don't know. Okay, now we want to select this one. There we go. We apply the boolean and we delete that. We select that. We apply that and we want that object. That is correct. We weren't getting that before. Definitely weren't getting that before. In fact, it was doing something really, really strange before. And now we're getting proper cuts. Again, we weren't getting that at all before. So very nice cuts. This always fascinates me. Why does it do that? Why does it put that there and not there? I don't know. Anyway, we have very nice cuts now in our windows. Let's bring our windows back. I know that I have to adjust these windows here because I didn't line them up exactly right. G. Come on. Oh. What are you doing? Ah. That's very interesting. Why have I got a double... I must have duplicated it somewhere along the line. shift you into place. You just need to literally cover the hole. There we go. I've duplicated that on there as well, haven't I? I need to check the front then as well. Ooh, what have I done there? I've triplicated it. What have I done there? Didn't do it there. We now have holes in our windows. Not going to bother doing that up the top because no one's going to really see up the top. Are they or aren't they? I might actually put a loft in. I don't think that they really want a loft somehow. They got a nice cellar, but I'm not so sure that they want a loft. Now we're not getting that horrible effect with the window pane hitting the wall and creating a problem with the I don't know what the technical term is, but I'm going to get rid of this guy because I know that I will leave him there accidentally when I bake the textures. I'm not going to be okay, I'm not going to do anything fancy here. I thought I could cut the hole exactly let's just not beat around the bush. Doorway. I've got a doorway at the back here as well. Do it like that, that's fine. Now do we need the archway? We do need an archway, don't we? Yes, we do. Because this is going to have a window. Okay. I'm not going to make it too fancy. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking because no one's saying anything in chat, so I'm allowed to think. When people start saying things in chat, make a very simple cut. One thing that I've noticed actually, which is just really brilliant, is that when you when you start to extrude, it extrudes by the even though it's set to global, okay, and the transform is local. Maybe that's why it's local. Okay, that must be a default setting for 2.92 of Blender. But it throws me every time because I've spent so many years asking it which direction I want it to go in, and now it does. It almost seems to know what direction you want to go in, and it throws me every time because I keep telling it which direction I want to go in. Size is fine. Origin to mass. Let's apply another. Boolean. I'm calling it Boolean. I don't know what anyone else calls it, but I call it Boolean. Other people call it Boolean, and it gets called all sorts of stuff. Bools. I think that's a tool called Bools, isn't there? Something like that. Okay, let's apply that. Delete. Okay, we've now got a doorway. Let's cut the back door as well, might as well. Why not? Otherwise it's only just something else I'm going to forget by accident. Let's just move this out of the way. That's the interior doors. Simple, straightforward. Again, just not going to mess around with any of this. That's fine for that. Okay, modifier. Boolean. Boom. Isn't it funny how this didn't work earlier? Very strange. Sometimes I don't understand. I know this is 2.92, but I've had this in other versions as well, where sometimes the Boolean just doesn't seem to want to work, and yet you do it. Like I did that cube. I made that cube earlier, and you know, applied a Boolean, and then it worked. It's just so weird. There we go, and now it's working perfect, absolutely perfect. Can't fault it. Boom, boom, boom. We've got that. We've got that. We have the doorway. The doorway is cut. That's correct. I might put each floor into a vertex group. I think that might be a good thing to do, because then... No. Do I need to... No, I don't need to put it into a vertex group. I need to put it into a each floor into a collection, because then I can work on each floor independently. I've got one, two. Downstairs doesn't have a partition wall, so there's only 2 doors to cut there. Upstairs I've got 1, 2, 3 doors to cut, and then I got to start thinking about the stairs, and I can bring in the rather nice stairs that I've already done. Really proud of those stairs, actually. It's really good. I can't wait to actually start applying a textures to this, because I've got some really hopefully some really nice textures for this. I think the house should be white, um, or maybe it should be, all the houses that I've seen, because middle class, not middle class, kind of lower middle to lower class houses tend to be red brick, and then at some point they decided they were going to start rendering them with plaster and making them white, and they obviously try to make, they try to do that, and they do pebble dashing and all sorts of other things, but the kind of the posh end that this is sort of middle to lower upper class kind of country, Victorian house. Typically they are made of red brick, because that's what they were basically made of, but then they were rendered, with a on the outside, and typically painted white. So I might try a couple of different textures actually. So, whoa, go easy on the zoom. Oh, come on. My only other concern is these windows, that on the inside, I obviously made these windows for low poly and they didn't have any backs on them. Of course, when somebody in Second Life, when somebody looks through the window, they're going to see out, but then they're not going to see, they're going to see absolutely nothing, because the normals are obviously round the wrong way. There is no face on these window frames. The problem is that that's going to start increasing. It's going to start increasing the I don't know whether to. I'm going to think about that. Is it really necessary? I could get away with a texture, which of course would just be 2 tries on the back, and that might suffice actually. I don't know. I might have to readdress these windows. I think they are fairly low poly for what they are. They're kind of semi-posh windows. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, we've got all of the windows cut out of the wall and the 2 doors. I'm going to start adding these to collections, I think. It means that I can hide, you see, it means I can work very easily. I think that's the best thing to do, is I can work really quite quickly on each floor. So if I move that to a new collection and I just call this basement, I don't know quite what you call it anywhere else around the world, but, well, Here in the UK, we call I've heard people call it basement, and I've heard them call it cellar. Um, I don't really know what's kind of correct. So in theory now, I should be able to turn that off. You see, and I think that that would work really really well with me. Um, Putting these into different collections, and then I can sort of, you know, switch these things around. So I think these should go into a new collection, and I just call it chimneys. And I can switch them off, and then I can go to, let me just move that up. Okay. Let's just grab that lot. Move, new collection. I'm just going to call this ground floor. Does help separate them really. Move, new collection, first floor. Move, new collection, roof. Then I know exactly what I'm working on. See, for instance, I don't really need to have the roof on or visible really. Now I can work on the basement. I'm not going to do anything with the cellar or the basement other than put some stairs in. Again, they could be pretty simple stairs, I think, for the basement. They don't need to be anything fancy. I've never seen fancy stairs going down into a basement. I can bring the chimneys back. Ground floor is the one that I need to work on. So now, of course, I can just select this floor and then work on making. Okay, I did make a. So yeah, I was just. I think this should be the kitchen because the back door is near the kitchen. This small room here is typically a reception room where people would normally go, visitors and such like, and then this large room would be a lounge, you know, a lounge area, come dining room, I suppose, in a way. Part of it would be the dining room, and then part of it would be the lounge area. Very often the rear of the house would be where the dining room part would be. I mean, there would, you know, yeah, or this could be the dining room, and then this other side would be sort of the reception stroke main lounge area. Whatever. Does anyone have any opinions on that? We've got a couple of lurkers there who are not. A couple of lurkers that are not viewers or following me. Always welcome to follow. trying to reach 10,000 followers by the end of the month. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, what I'm going to do, let's save this. Now, before I start cutting up the internal walls, let's create another version. This is the interior door. Ah, yes, now. I'm jumping ahead. And I should really finish this door before I start. Now, there was something that I wanted to do. Door handles were varied. I think in the older houses they were always round, and the lock was kind of big, a bit like the lock that I put on the lighthouse, maybe not quite as big as that. But then on the front of the door, you would obviously have a handle and a keyhole, typically. I don't know. I don't know. I might. Okay, so let's select this. I'm going to add. Let's just add a very simple. Sorry if you can hear voices in the background. I'm going to put it this way around. Ooh. That's odd. Why is that? Is that door not in? How very strange. Why is it doing that? It's almost like the door is not perfectly aligned with the y-axis. I don't know what was going on there. the strangeness of Blender sometimes. I don't know. It throws you. It does it on purpose. It just knows that don't need this to be hugely big. Keep the poly count low, just make it a cube really. Again, I don't think anyone's really going to notice a huge amount on there. making a handle. Certainly don't need it to be 2 meters long. Wow, look at all the questions in chat. Look at all the questions and the comments in chat. Wow. I can't cope. I can't cope with the amount of messages in chat. Throwing me again. I don't have to keep typing which direction I want it to go in. See, it just knows which direction you want to go in. It's magic. I think I've made the outside one just slightly bigger than the inside one. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine, no one's going to really be looking at the no one's really going to be looking at the handles. It's as long as it just looks like a handle, it'll be fine. Yeah. On the texture I'll put a keyhole. Sometimes I swear I don't know whether it's my keyboard or whether it's Blender. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want this too. I'm going to drop this down because this needs to be at the bottom. Well, actually the internal walls can be lifted up slightly. So yeah, okay, so that makes we've got the door frame, which will go. Okay, so at least the door will open and somebody can walk through it. That's the main thing. Okay, right, where do we place this? Where do we cut doors? I think typically the doors were kind of put kind of near the wall, really. So you'd come in, you'd have your coat stand and whatever, and as time went on there would be a telephone, usually in the hallway. I mean, even in relatively modern houses in the 60s, still had a telephone in the hall. It wasn't until later on that people started having telephones wired in through their house elsewhere. It was typically telephone line came in and the point was by the the door. And even the house that I'm in now, which is a 1920s 30s style house, the telephone line is pretty much near the front door. So I don't know when this was put in, probably a long time ago. It's a very, very old connection. So I'm guessing it was quite a long time ago. Well, probably the 60s, I would have thought. I want that to cut right down the bottom, because basically the door frame is going to go, yeah, something like that. And I want it near, probably about that distance from, because we've obviously got the door frame. Let's just move it a little bit more over that way. Same for the kitchen. And I think the door for this other one, on the opposite wall will go pretty much the same. Just make sure that's, yeah, I mean that will be going down to the floor, pretty sure. Yeah. And then the doors will be the other way round upstairs, because the partition is across there. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to join these. Join. Let's join these two. Join. Right, let's see that the. Let's save this. It looks like I'm wearing horns. Modifier, Boolean, highlight, this, apply, boom. Has that worked? Yes, it has. This wall, modifier, Boolean, highlight, this one, apply, boom. We now have dividing wall holes. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. Wouldn't have been this, with this room being the kitchen and this room potentially being the dining room. I mean, there may well have been, what do they call it? The in between the kitchen and the dining room, there would have been a, oh, that's got me now. There would have been a little opening to pass food through. Oh, what's it called? That's gonna bug me now. I don't know. In the very, very larger houses, of course, they would have had a, what they call a dumb waiter, which would have, you know, gone from, you know, the kitchen would have been in the cellar, because they would have had servants and housekeeper and all of those kind of things. This house is not big enough for that, unless, of course, the servants and, you know, such like were living in quarters outside, which of course did happen. It did happen here in the UK anyway. If the person who owned the house was wealthy enough, you know, they would have had that. So this is our interior door asset. I haven't made that wide enough, have I? The door frame needs to be wider. Let's get it in place first. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, that's about right. Okay. And that will go down to the floor. Yeah, that's about right. So, yeah, this looks good. But I need to make the door frame slightly bigger. I wonder if I not made this... Yeah, I mean... Okay. I mean, they were pretty chunky. Scale... Let me just make that just very slightly bigger. There we go. Yeah, okay. That's as pretty much as that's going to be. Let's get the scale right. Door is correct. Let's whack that over there. Pretty darn good. The door will be rotated 180 degrees. Door handles for some reason are always pointing inwards. This is the right size and potentially the right way around. Excellent. Brilliant. Brilliant, I'm happy with that. Is chat happy with this? It's looking rather good. I'm actually quite happy with this. Back door may need to be I may need to put a handle on the back door. We've got a handle in the middle there. Keyhole would be on the right hand side. Might need to put some sort of handle on the inside just to finish that sort of level of detail off. Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. These doors should actually be in, well, they will be in exactly the same place for the upper floors, but they will be on opposite sides. So there'll be one door on the left and two doors on the right, because I've split the room on the next floor up, going in a different way. Let's grab those and just dump them there. I'm going to move these. Ooh. Come on. Frame door, frame door. Move those to the collection ground floor. Hide the ground floor. Bada bing. Brilliant. Save. Problem is with people following that don't, well, they don't, no, they're not followers, so people who are looking at my stream, and you it's disconcerting because you don't know why they're just watching you but not following you. I don't know, especially when the same people keep coming back time and time again. I find it really quite strange. Maybe it's just because I operate in a slightly different way. I tend to follow someone maybe once or twice, and then I will I'll become a viewer. You know, what do they call it? Follow, yeah. You follow someone. Yeah, you follow someone. That's it. So you follow someone and then you know. But yeah, when someone's just viewing your channel and you don't know why, it's odd. What did someone say today? Someone put it really quite funny. It's like, was that to do with, yeah, it was about people who just view your videos but don't follow you. And I can't, it was just so funny the way the guy said it. And yeah, it was, and I thought, yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly how I feel. You know, somebody's following you. You don't know why. You don't know why they're following you. Let's grab these. I want them to cut through the wall. Yep, they're cutting through the wall. And of course I want them to go around the other way. I think the easiest thing to do is to just swap them around. They should actually be pretty much like that. Just the opposite way around to the downstairs wall. There we go. So we want to cut, and then I can do the same with the doors. Just move the doors over. Add modifier, Boolean. I'm getting tired. Okay. Apply. Wall, modifier, Boolean, highlight. That. Apply. all I really need to do is drop these down. Like so. That's about right. They're placed correctly in each wall. That's covering that one. This one is round the right way. Boom. There we go. Perfect. There we go. We now have the first floor doors cut and framed. Frame, door, frame, door. Move to collection. First floor. Boom. Yep. We're nearly there, people. Windows are done. I've got to make a decision about these windows, because when somebody's on the inside of this house, I think to keep the Second Life land impact down, and also keep the I'm thinking I could just fill the back. I think that might be an idea. I think I would just I think I will put a plane on the back, you know, just fill the back of each of these windows, and then just put a texture there to make it look like there's, you know, the back of this frame of this window. You know, just give it a frame round and then put these cross frames in, because, you know, realistically people are not, you know, I mean I can make it look really convincing, because otherwise if I put this on the inside, and it means I then have to put a pane of glass on the inside effectively, and then also the frame, it's going to start increasing the land impact ridiculous, and I don't think it's really necessary. The outside needs to look good, that is necessary, but I think the inside doesn't necessarily, you know, I could just use a texture to go on the back of the window, and it will be obviously transparent. Well, there'll be an alpha on it. Yeah, I think that's the thing to do. Don't mess around with too much, otherwise it's just going to create massive land impact, really. For anyone who's just watching and started viewing this stream, I'm working on this. If you haven't been following my other videos, I've been working on this Victorian house for a few weeks. I've got an awful lot of other projects in the pipeline, which you're quite welcome to. Here is my project list. No, it's this one. So this is my project list of basically sort of Second Life and 3D, you know, Blender projects that I've got. So I'm in the process of making a rather nice steamship. If you've seen any of my other videos, on, you know, my other streams, then you'll see a lot of these projects are in progress. Some have timeline, and some have deadlines to them, and others don't. And some are just projects that I just want to do myself. So I did a steampunk lamp, which I'm calling this next one that I'm going to do version 2, because it's going to be bigger. It's going to have a battery pack on the bottom and a couple of dials, and it's going to be kind of a little bit more interactive, I think. Actually, I have made... Ooh, I can scratch another one off of here. I forgot about that. I did that the other day. I think I did that at the weekend. I can scratch off the stairs for the library, because the library is now complete, and that can be scratched off. And then I've got the Gothic arches and the crypt build to do. I've my last couple of videos ago, I pretty much finished the build of the fake lighthouse, and then I've got to do a living in lighthouse with physics, but that's pretty much finished actually now. And then I've got to convert the steamship into build, which is this one at the top, number 1, into a living ship with physics for roleplay. I did this earlier today. A client, this is in IRL, client with a 3D logo, played around with. That was fun actually, because I looked at some work I did 6 years ago and found that, you know, things are drastically changed in 6 years. And what happened was I started, you know, I was all for Blender and things, but, you know, we're talking version 2 point something. I can't remember what it was 6 years ago, but it was difficult. I mean, it wasn't very intuitive at all, really. And of course, you know, things have changed a lot. And I ended up actually creating his logo in another program, and you know, it worked. So, and then this is what we're working on today, the Victorian house build. This is going to be a physics model for Second Life for people to rent out. So it has to be a working physics model, and I already have the textures for this, and I've got to work out the physics. Will be relatively easy to do. And the small dirigible tour, again, now I did this as well. I don't always stream everything I'm doing, to be honest, but I've actually done the small dirigible tour seat. I've already written the program for that, but what hasn't been done is the route. So I've done the tour seat. That bit's been done, but I haven't. The route is yet to be defined, and I'm waiting on 2 people for that. So, you know, if you know what it's like to run projects, you know, when you're doing project management, you're kind of always waiting for. Sometimes you're always waiting for other people, and it can be a little bit annoying. But so that's the project list as it stands, and I've got a lot of other ideas. If you watch the beginning of this video, I showed a very brief glimpse of something that I did in between the 2 streams I've done today. I watched a tutorial today about creating rocks, and I came across this tutorial, which is absolutely excellent, about creating lots of different rocks with random textures. So every time you copy the rock, it will put a different texture on it, and then you can alter the rock physics really easily, and it's dynamic. So you know, you're not there sculpting rocks to make them look different at all. If anyone's interested in seeing how I did that, then... But you can create rocks really quickly with, you know, different textures on them, random, randomized texture, and then you can alter the physics of the rock really quite easily. I will be using that for sure. Okay, so back to our house. Internal doors are done, holes are cut for the windows. I'm going to think about what I think the best option for me to do is to fill the back of each of these frames, because it's all the normals are on one side, which means that when somebody in Second Life looks out of the window, they will see literally a square, and they won't see anything because they're looking at the reverse of the normal. Actually, did I make sure? I think I did. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good on this. made sure that the normals are all round the right way on the doors. Let's just check, because I don't like... Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're round the right way. They are round the right way. Done that before. You know, you just learn after a while that you need to check these things out as you go along, because you end up reworking things unnecessarily. You know, you do it once and you remember, so typically. Sometimes I don't remember. Why has this... That's interesting. Move. This should be basement. I don't know quite why you're randomly... anyway, so first floor is done. Don't need anything else. The only other things I want to do now will be fireplaces. Now, Victorian fireplaces were sometimes in houses like these, they were pretty elaborate. I'm not going to make elaborate fireplaces. But you see, I could put a fireplace there. In fact, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to start cutting holes. You know, these fireplaces don't need to be real. I might just make a couple of assets of fireplaces. One bigger ones for the larger rooms, and small ones, because I remember living in a rather large house in Ireland, which was probably older than Victorian, but yeah, I think it was probably older than Victorian. I think it was Georgian, and the rooms upstairs had quite small fireplaces in them, and then the rooms downstairs, or the larger room, like this would be, you know, a double bedroom, would have a very large, and the largest would be actually on the ground floor in the dining, not the dining room, the sort of lounge area. Now, there isn't anything in that collection now, is there? There doesn't actually need to be anything in that one. Okay, ground floor. Stairs asset. The stairs are going to be something that I'm thinking that I will, in the first floor, I will cut. I think they call it the gallery. The gallery, the gallery hole where the stairs will go. It'll be slightly bigger, and then there will be a banister around the top. I just want to make sure that the basement... Yeah, okay. I've not duplicated this, have I? No, I haven't. Okay, that's fine. Right, I'm going to save this. Do we have any questions in chat? No, we don't. Anyone got any questions, or are you just happy to watch or listen? I mean, it is something that I do. You know, I will be working, and I will just have someone in the background, but I won't just have any random person in the background. It'll be somebody that I'm actually following in the background that I will just have on, because, you know, I like just literally listening to you know, someone talking away about whatever it is they're working on, you know, whatever art or... But I don't really just listen to someone that I'm not following. Okay, I'm happy with that. I've saved this, didn't I? Wow, this is nearly 2 hours already. Holy moly. Okay. I think I've actually done enough today. Let's just bring in the stairs and see what they look like. I did wonder why I was getting a bit tired. Okay, stairs. Cool. They're a bit big, but I suspect one, they're too big. I don't think it's possible to have the stairs go up at that angle. I was rather hoping to have stairs that would go up and then, you know, split at the top. One go up one way, one go up the other way, but I don't think that's going to be possible, really. I mean, again, I have seen this. Why is that so shiny? There isn't... Oh, right, okay. Materials got screwed up. So anyway, yeah, this is in different parts. I think I will be I think I will be making it. I love the banister. I think I will be customizing this basically. Let's move this to its own collection, and let's just call this stairs so that I can work on that separately. Let's bring in Mr. Patrick here. Yeah, scale-wise, that is good. There isn't enough space really to have the stairs split. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just have stairs go straight up, and the stairs would probably come forward a bit more, and then they would literally, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking of a country house. Well, it was a suburban, quite a large, very old house. This is actually near enough being modelled on. And when you went through the front door, literally the stairs were, you know, they kind of, you know, you came through the front door, and the stairs were like there. You know, they were literally right in front. Probably, you know, less than 6 feet, maybe 5 feet away from the front door. So I don't think that's unrealistic to have the stairs that close. You know, it'd be about there. I don't think I can have this. I can't really have that going up around there. This is just going to have stairs literally go straight up through, and they will just go straight up, and then I will have a banister each side, which will be rather nice to do. And I'm going to have to alter this mesh around a bit. So people will go up the stairs, they'll go onto the landing, and I will put a banister up round around the top. My only other thought then was to actually have the stairs go up that side. But I again, yes and no. I've seen them being built that way, but I would like this to sort of stay, you know. And then there would be a door one side of these stairs to go down to the cellar. So anyway, I think that's something for another day. I'm happy with how that is at the moment. It's coming on. It is certainly coming on. I like it. So if we bring that back, bring the roof back. Yeah, it's beginning to come together. So what do I have left to do? I've got the stairs to do. I have to... So that I've got stairs to go up to the first floor, steps. I'm going to do something really simple to go down to the basement or the cellar, which will be underneath the stairs, probably the same side as the kitchen, because I think that's typically how that would work. And then I've got fireplaces to make for each of the rooms, which I think would be rather nice. Again, I'm not going to make them too complicated. But I think this is coming on. And then after that, it will be texturing time. Let's move that door out of the way. In fact, actually, I probably don't even need to see that door anymore. Certainly don't need to see that window anymore. Okay. I think we're good. I'm happy with how this has worked out. Yeah, I think the stairs I need to work on the stairs. The stairs will be blocked off because the steps will go down underneath these stairs and then into the cellar. And there'll be a small access door to go down there. That would typically be on the same side as the kitchen door, which is here. So what would you have the other side? I don't know. I mean, in a modern house, this would be converted to a downstairs toilet. But obviously, back in those days, I'm not so sure that they would have had an indoor toilet. Maybe they did in bigger houses. I don't know. Our house didn't. It had an outside toilet when it was built. So did all the houses around this area. None of them had none of them had bathrooms, and none of them had toilets. They barely even had a kitchen. Anyway, hey, let's save this as a different revision. So we're now on revision I. And we will continue this another day. Thank you very much again for watching. If you are watching and you're not following, it would do my channel really well. As you can see, I don't have an awful lot of followers. I haven't been going for very long, and I do try to stick to a routine of doing about 4 streams a week. I tend to actually end up doing more, or have been recently, obviously with the situation in the world at the moment. So sometimes, I take a break from doing client work during the day, and I just like to tinker around in Blender or Second Life. And so yeah, if you like what I'm doing and you're interested, I try to vary things up a bit. Change things around and do something different, like today, for instance, working on client. Sometimes I'll be doing some video editing, sometimes I'll just be literally in Second Life the whole stream. It, varies really. And hopefully you've seen my project list. There may be some things in there that you want to keep up with. Anyway, thanks very much, and I'll see you on another stream.